All right, we can't waste time. We've got to get right into it because I was just theory crafting what's going to happen. Crackety hops into game 2, and he's not waiting around. What and all. Welcome back to the midweek muster. Game number 2 of this single elimination format best of 3. And Crackety has picked Socotra. So he loved Atoll. He follows it up with basically a more filled out Atoll. And he starts off by moving his town center into the center of this island. Oh, this is fantastic. So Kiljadi on the other side, fighting for his tournament life here, because remember, no comebacks, no second chances. He goes to the Ayyubids. Ayyubids, at first, when Socotra came out, we saw a lot of Ayyubid games. People felt good, but I just don't feel like it hit. And what is up, type error dubs? Okay, I'm going to take a look at the subs. For some reason, the graphics are popping in too big. So I'm going to decrease the size of them so that the text definitely show. Thank you very much, type error dubs, though. To the Mongol haters, TC Rush back on the menu. I mean, dude, on Socotra, yes. On Atoll, yes. There are some maps where TC rushing could still work. Wait, actually, Socotra is a pub queuable map, right? I think it's still on the ranked ladder, if I'm not mistaken. So, I shouldn't give them ideas. Actually, I don't think Mongol TC rushing would be too impactful on this map due to the backspawn in gold, right? It's like, in theory, should be a little bit of a whiff. Yeah, curious start. The downside of what Crackety has done here is what you're seeing over here. The gold is really, really far away. So there is a risk that if Crackety loses map control, he's just dead. Because then the only thing you can build is archers. The good news is, against an Ayyubid player in the feudal age, what are they going to build? They're either going to build archers as well, so you'll be able to scale equally, or they build desert raiders and they lose. Horseman, theoretically feasible here. But Horseman always feels tricky to try and like layer in with the Civ, right? Because your economical bonuses aren't that big. 10% gathering is not too bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not crazy. And we are heading towards Desert Raiders, so yeah. I think Crackety's just going to go archers. What if you would force map only for 1 round or 2? I don't know. I'm not sure. So one thing I will say is like there was some feedback about the majority of the maps should be ladder maps, and I don't necessarily agree with that because I think I've said this before. It's actually something that needs to change on the development side, and it should change on the development side because let's be totally real, this is an esports driven game. Like they try to push the game forward with the esports quite often. I think the map pool for rank needs to change more often and should actually start to bring in custom maps. So, Distant opening. I could see the idea of only a forced map in the early rounds of midweek muster working if we were talking about longer series, maybe. That would make more sense of it, but I've tried to be careful not to be too time consuming. Because like we have best of 5 semifinals, best of 7 grand finals. Like you could say finals is best of 9, semis is best of 7s, and then like once you're in best of 5 territory, which is like say round of 8, round of 16 maybe, those would be not forced map. But you end up with so many extra games that need to be played, and it's difficult to get people to do that. Like, I mean, I'm sure Chim won't mind me speaking to it. It was quite the chore to get some players to bother to schedule their games. Which, by the way, like, little highlight to people, and big shout out to the ones that have been very punctual in scheduling their games. You need to be punctual, because if you don't schedule your games, and you don't play your games, and we do end up having to DQ players, because we will DQ players who don't schedule their games, and they will also potentially get, like, timeouts or whatever, right? Then the format doesn't work, and the tournaments will just go away. So, you know, that's why I added in the Discord today, reminding players to drop their drafts and their results. Because my admin shouldn't have to spend extra hours going to gather all that, harassing players for the details. We are all adults. We are all capable of dropping those details in a Discord for someone to easily compile later. So yeah, like, we can explore potentially longer series and different formats. But step one is just genuinely getting players on board with the habit, the pattern of doing things like, you know, playing their games in a punctual fashion and registering results. I think week 2 is going to be very telling of that. Deerstone coming in, though, so Crackety, He did at least get enough gold. He's got an outpost out here. This is really important because you might want to play into archers, but if you're going to do so, you'll need Steeled Arrow and Undermesh. Kiljardi is already playing into archers. We even have Raxas being dropped, which... that surprises me, actually. That's very peculiar. Why? Because even if you're worried about Keshiks, you have Desert Raiders, right? So I'm a little bit perplexed by the Spearman play. Yeah, this is, I mean, you meme chill, but this is something that I've said. When you play Ayyubids, you might as well have the racks blanked out on your UI for H2. It just doesn't register, because when was the last time you saw Ayyubids with spears? Archer range reactions are going to be even better for Crackety now. Crackety, who, by the way, has been stockpiling a lot of resources. We will still see this committed, though, I think. He's at least going to build a few archers to defend. We even have the good old Magadai coming. Not the Khan Hunter. Was that? That has to be a miss hotkey. I understand the Khan Hunter because you can outrange and outkill. Like, this is why I was feeling like Mongols are actually, like, peak right now. They're as strong as they've been in a very long time because the Khan Hunter play... 0.5 extra time range doesn't sound like a lot, but the beginning engagements actually is the world of difference here. So yeah, curious about this single Magadai. Especially with Desert Raiders already in play, you're just kind of giving value to Kiljardi. You can force some idle time on the backside, right? But it's not going to be crazy. Alright, one's if you think this Magadai is a misclick. Two's if you think it's an elaborate bait. Because this has to be kind of baity. I think he's planning to just show Magadai, and then that's going to force Kiljardi to add in more Desert Raiders in a bit of a panic. We still have a Rax, which has had 0 use, by the way. Now, I know it's like, you only realize you need insurance once you're injured sort of thing, right? So better to have this than not have it. But you could have built the Rax and prep defenses on a delay. This feels... quite wasteful for the early game. He's going to dive in now with the archers. He does still have the attack speed arrow in just a few seconds, so 10 seconds away. A little bit ambitious. I think Crackety needs to slow down. This is earlier than necessary. Magadai, well, there we go, guys. We figured it out. It's to absorb all the arrow fire. Doesn't even get the attack speed arrow out. Does at least get rid of the Desert Raiders. So actually, Crackety getting a cracking exchange here. However, it is going to start getting worse. Desert Raiders may be gone, but... there's a different range unit on the field. Steeled Arrow is coming in for them. So archers are going to be buffed. Meanwhile, Crackety, it's all just a skirt and a flirt. He's getting ready for castle. What's Mongols' game plan against Ayyubids? Oh, you just scale archers. I don't think Ayyubids are favored if you just scale archers. Especially with Deerstone, because you get the efficiency from this, which kind of equates to the same thing as Golden Age. Golden Age is 10%, right? I think it'd be fair to say you get like 6 or 7% extra gathering rate as time goes on with the tree line from Yam because you move so much quicker. So he could have just played mass archers, and then with the attack speed arrow from the Khan and also the extra range from the Khan hunters, he could have won that. But this is even easier. Kurotai now on the way. How do you move your entire base as far away from gold as possible and still manage to go Castle Age? Make it make sense, man. It's kind of crazy what Crackety's done here, because in theory, Kiljardi should have been able to noob stomp him on the gold. But to do so, he has to walk out of position, which means that Crackety could have cut him off. Right? It's similar to the logic of why a longbow army from the English don't go around the back of your base, because you can cut their reinforcements. It's the same thing here. This is pretty wild. What does French do against Ayyubids? You just go next and pick a different civ. Find a better main. Yeah, French is a little bit tricky against Ayyubids. You could probably do like 2 TC hunkered. I think that can kind of work because your TCs return value pretty quickly. Because playing Mass Knights is just a nightmare against Desert Raiders. And eventual Camel Lancers. If you can survive that early game though, Arbitrary later feel pretty good. Alright, Dive's going to come in. Villagers say, nope. Peace out. We got all the gold we need. Men-at-Arms immediately get queued up. Undermesh also on the way. No veterancy for the Archer, guys, but the Kurotai is like a pseudo-castle upgrade here. So these units, from 5 damage up to the 6. I'm not even exaggerating. They basically get their Steeled Arrow for free with this. In fact, he still has enough of Steeled Arrow behind this. just like, I need to get home here. Kiljadi does have his tech on the way, but it's not giving him any edge here. It's advancement wing. A sheer catch-up. Okay, yeah, so Krakeny is that guy that likes to park efficiently, so efficiently that you can't open the doors and get your kids out of the car. Right, like, you ever had that person that they park next to a bush, and they park so close to the bush that you're just going to have to, like, wheel the window down and then dive into the bush. That's Krakeny with this Kurotai. There is no room between his base and Kiljadi's. And arms numbers are surging here, though. I don't know, Kiljadi just looks a little bit lost. Like, adding in a second archer ship, it's cute, but what does it do? I guess it protects the high seas where all that fish is. Oh, wait, we're not on atoll. Yeah, I think maybe Kiljadi's got atoll brain from the last game. That is a true condition, guys. Also, there's inland gold, so you don't actually stop anything. I mean, you can at least force him to be on this one location, but it's literally right next to his base. Kurotai just going for a little bit of a stroll. It's like the Pope doing laps of Europe in his car. Yes, don't mind me. Coming through. Just checking all the sites. Outpost at least going to go up, but the men-at-arms, yeah, you camp this. There's nothing to really stop you. Even the Khan won't die. Remember, he's got a ludicrous 300 HP in age 3. Kiljadi does at least have Campbell Lancers coming. Krakeny was building crossbows before, but he paused. I think he's going to resume now that he's got good gold access. Meantime, the men-at-arms. There's enough of him to fight here. Attack speed arrow is going to get activated. Immediately just snipes him down. Goes to the backline as well. The Camel Lancers can't win against the men-at-arms. There's no way, surely. The Khan finally dies. Just so much arrow fire wasted there. Outpost goes down. Villagers will at least get away, but the Ghoulims cannot hold this back. Kurotai is way too good in these situations. 14 damage on those men-at-arms. The archers have still not been vetted up, guys. He's actively adding in more archers, but still not vetting them. All about that Zerk. So control looking good. Krakeny now getting ready with siege engineering improved. So last game, he had to build trebuchets in his base and then bring them across. Now, admittedly, his base is very close this game, but it's still not close enough. Big Mongols, guys. You don't need to wait. You just have the siege there. Obnoxiously in a person's face. And remember, the Kurotai does buff the bonus damage there. So traction trebuchets will start to delete these buildings really quickly. And he'll get paid to do so. Love the forward outpost also. Just gives him the YAM network. He knows Kiljadi doesn't have any troops. Even if he saw this, it would be difficult to contest. In fact, right now, Kiljadi's few troops are trying to flank raid. There's just no opening. Well, this is very chill for Krakeny. I can almost just picture him listening to like 18th century music and sipping tea. A perfect sight, right? Because he's in a very calm mood in these games. Although I would say, Krakeny, the one way you can improve that image is by making sure you're sipping some of the caramel latte from Protein Works. Get it right, mate. But other than that, yeah, I've fully painted that picture now. Game 1 was, in a way, very chill for Krakeny, and Game 2 is kind of fitting that theme as well. I am somewhat impressed with how chill their games are, despite the fact they're playing on the smallest maps in the pool. God knows what would happen if we put them on Frisium. You could probably just take a nap, come back, and nothing would have happened. Trebs, I'm going to start popping off, though. So goes off the houses first. Love this from Krakeny. It's just all about getting more resources. And you can see that by the fact he's got raid bounty on the way. It's about to be 75 food and 75 gold per building burnt. So you want to take all these small things out. Mills, houses, everything. Remember, he is in range of the Kurotai, so a substantial damage buffer coming in there. Normally you'd be at 200 against these buildings. You get an extra 40 there. So what is Kiljadi's out right now? Because he's attempted flank raids, but Krakeny was always going to keep his economy close to his TT. Remember, this is a guy that used to build, what was it, like 8 town centers? I like to think that Crackney... So there's two possibilities. Either Crackney inspired Philosberto's playstyle with that meme where he was trying to get top rank by building mass DCs. Or Crackney was inspired by Philosberto. I'm not sure which, though. I'm building down. We do have Mango played now from Kiljadi. He doesn't have much of a front line, though, is my only scary part about all of this. Keep drop. It's going to be attempted by Kiljadi. Mango's... Okay, congrats. You all shot the exact same moves. No. And the Traction Trebuchets are trying to snipe him out. He gets it as well. Kills the Mango. Almost kills the second. The Khan Hunter as well, just giving the extra range here. Traction Trebs once again shooting. He's actually killing them. The Traction Trebs are the new age Springles. Are you actually kidding me? That's enough. GG gets called. Age of Trebuchets is upon us. Guys, I mean, I'm calling it now. Big predictions coming in. Every single tournament series, English is going to get banned.